Moving on.
Moving on to the next thing, to what we watched. This just came out this past Sunday. I, myself, am a big fan of the True Detective series on HBO. I don't know if you are.
Which season? Because
Well,
there's
obviously,
a lot of messes in there.
I like number 1 and number 3. Number 2, I'm out of. That's not for, I couldn't do season 2. It didn't cut it for me. It was all over the place, weird, wasn't great. But number 1 obviously gets you hooked onto the show. Season 1,
dark show.
It's very dark.
It's mystery. It's detective stuff. It's
everything I like.
The first one, amazing. Everyone fell in love with it. Great performances, Woody Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey, and then I gave up because everybody in the world said after the second episode of season 2, they're like, this isn't True Detective.
Yeah,
what is this show?
It changed.
To be fair, I didn't even make it that far. I was like, I just like the first one. You need a good actor when you're launching a series. So now, Jodie Foster.
Oh my God, are you gonna?
People love Jodie Foster, and they go, Jodie Foster's gonna be in True Detective season 4. Well, everybody's running to the TV, right? It's winter. Everyone's like, we're going to watch the new season. So we did yesterday. I don't know, guys. You want to start?
First of all, it's only been 1 episode. This is only a 6-episode long season, but the first episode to me did pull me in by the end of it. But I will agree that in the beginning portion of the show, like the first opening scene, I'm kind of invested, but then they kind of lose me. There's the writing. I'm not sure where we're going with some of this stuff. Why am I being shown some of these things that don't seem important at all?
And long story short is like the premise is that there's a science lab and all the science people go missing, and Jodie Foster and friends have to figure it out.
Yeah. But there's also a weird, which, granted, in the True Detective series, even season 1, there is like a little bit of that,
mystical.
Supernatural-esque.
You like?
Well, I don't know if I entirely like it, but I mean, I think it adds an extra element to the show that where they can just send you in a direction that you didn't see coming because there is this element to it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff in it that is confusing that they just haven't explained yet because it's only been 1 episode.
The writing was a little sloppy for season 1. To be fair, it's hard to make a good show. That's why there's not a lot of great shows. I'm worried that this one has 1 more episode. If they don't hit a home run on episode 2, the viewership's gonna plummet. I looked on Twitter, some people were just like, what is this? The other lead, she's a little aggressive. I don't know how to pronounce her name, sorry. She's okay. Did you believe she was a detective?
Navarro, I think that's right. No.
Did she feel like detective?
She doesn't feel like a detective, but I think she's I don't know if she's working for the Native American police, I believe.
Okay.
She's a trooper. They keep saying trooper, but I think but I'm not sure because they don't explain it.
And also, this is how you do detective work. Sorry, what's your name? Where were you last night? Do you have anything you want to tell me about what you saw? No. There's no detective interviews. There's no work.
No, they're just looking in boxes from old cases.
And they're talking to each other a lot about their feelings, and that's not very detective-like to me.
No, I guess we'll have to see what happens in episode 2.
You know? And it was a little too much oh, hi, brother. Good to see you. I don't like when they spell everything out for you because they assume you're like a complete idiot. There was a lot of
there was too much
come
of
help me, son. Where's your father? Everything was very much spoon-fed to
I know exactly
what... Do you know what I'm saying?
There's a part at the end of the show that Daryl is talking about, and we don't want to give away any spoilers, but basically, we could ruin it. Basically, this lady finds, at the very end of the show, they find the missing guys.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, they're dead.
That doesn't even ruin it, though.
No, but the part is...
How did they find them?
There's a guy standing... First of all, it's Alaska. He has no gloves on. He's in a flannel and no shoes or socks. So
and he looks
obviously you're is this guy alive or not? Is he a zombie? I don't know.
He's ghostly.
He's ghostly, and he's just doing this in the middle of the glacier, I guess. He's like
a dancing White Walker.
He's dancing, and then all of a sudden he does this thing where he's down and he just goes and
that
points,
way.
And then the lady's okay, and she just turns and starts walking that way, and she finds the body. She tells the cops show up there, and she's like, "My son told me," and the detective is like, "Your son's dead though," and she's like, "I know."
I know.
It's
So that means in a writer's room, they're okay.
We have to explain that this guy in the middle of the negative degree temperature who's not wearing clothes is dead.
How do we find the body? We need to find the bodies. What if
They did good
Now, hear me
detective
out.
work and found it? No,
what
it's
if
a ghost.
points with their fingers to where the bodies are?
Yeah, you're right.
I would have fired somebody over this if I was at HBO. I would have fired them. I would have paused my TV and gone, I need to see you in my office Monday.
After you saw the edit.
Who's in charge of this? Who's the showrunner? Like, this is a mess, you know?
If anything, it's gotten super, super, supernatural-esque, which is too much.
Brennan, name 3 character names from episode 1. You watched it less than 12 hours ago.
Oh my God.
Name 3 of the character names from
Oh my
episode
God.
1. You can't
No,
do it.
I can't.
That's
I can't
how
do it.
unaffected we were emotionally as viewers.
I don't know
can't
any of
name
their
a
names.
single character's
I
name. That's not good writing, by the way. We should be like, I loved character Dan. He was so good. We can't name anybody's name. And all you can say is Jodie, which means she wasn't in character enough that we were watching Jodie Foster, not Cole
right.
or not.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Not Marty.
I didn't think about that, but I definitely can't remember a single name.
Yeah, so
at all.
So that's not a good look for the show. And so here's the problem: is it not great because season 1's amazing, or is it just not great because it's a little sloppy? I didn't fall in love with it. If I had to give it, do we used to rate these like on a scale?
I think we did. Yeah.
2.
Two is a little aggressive. 2 is so aggressive, Daryl.
Sorry,
Oh
man.
my God.
I didn't love it. What did you think?
Here's my most iconic line from this show. It was shot great.
It really was shot.
It was
great.
really
no, it
shot
wasn't.
well.
The CGI, by the way.
Oh, the CGI is
sloppy.
pretty rough. In the first opening scene, if you go and you want to be like, what are Brennan and Daryl talking about? You will see in the first scene the CGI is not great. But I don't know. I'm intrigued. I want to see what happens. I'm definitely going to watch episode 2. Does that mean I'm going to go from there? We'll see how episode 2 ends. I felt like episode 1 ended in kind of a place where you're like, okay.
Did you go to bed going, man, that was good?
No, because I turned around and watched a much better show right after it, and we actually ended up having to watch the second episode after because we're like, dang, that's good.
We had to watch another show to cleanse our mouth from the terrible taste that True Detective season 4 left.